Today we are going to be making venison Traeger sausage pizza in both white and red styles, really just to pleasure all the palates out there. And to spare you guys all the detail and all the bottles, I have everything pre-proportioned out. And to get started, grab yourself a pound of venison. It can really be any meat. Obviously, we are hunters, so we like venison. You guys can make your pizza the way you want. That's what's awesome about this recipe. Flexibility is there. So, pound of venison, and then to dive into it, we have a half teaspoon of sea salt, a half teaspoon of sriracha pepper. You can use black pepper. We have a quarter teaspoon of ground mustard seed. We have half tablespoon of basil. Really as many cloves as garlic as you guys like. My wife and I love garlic, so 4 cloves of garlic on these pizzas for us. And then probably just about a quarter of a red onion. And again, keep in mind, this is all going to be spread out between the pound of venison on 2 different pizzas, so the flavor should be widespread. Forgot to mention, an important part of sausage making is the alcohol that goes into it. We're going to be doing it a little bit different today, aka we don't have any red wine on hand, so instead of a nice fruity red wine, I'm going to go with a nice fruity IPA. So about a quarter can of this IPA, this happens to be Wild Berry Jamble from the Columbus local Land Grant Brewing Company. So again, quarter can right into meat. So after you have your beer, wine, whatever alcohol mixture you like to put in your meat, go ahead, take your pre-proportioned ingredients, throw them in, mix them up, and you'll be ready to make some sausage. Chop up your garlic and make sure that they are nice and finely minced. And one little trick for chopping up garlic is to really just press it with the side of your blade. Really helps get that outside shell off from the meat of the garlic that you're going to throw into your mix. And I realize that everything looks really cool, nicely displayed. It becomes a real pain in the butt when you actually have to get it into your bowl to mix. Definitely easier just to throw it right in from the container. And I know what you're thinking. I'm not as quick as David at mincing and chopping. Just another thing that David has me beat in. Okay, all the ingredients are in my mixing bowl, and now I'm using my trusty, funny story, my wife actually found this in our utensil bowl a couple weeks back. We got it as a wedding favor, and it's just kind of been sitting in our utensil bowl ever since, and I don't know, how did you find this? How did you find out about this? Like what to actually use this for?
I don't know, I watched a blog and somebody was shredding chicken with it. It's the most genius tool in the entire world.
Yeah, so long story short, she made some crock pot chicken and she used this to shred it, and it worked wonders, and we've been using it religiously ever since. So if you don't know what this is for, it is a great meat shredder. So go ahead, get your mixture together. Make sure that you are getting every last piece of meat nice and ground up. Really work those ingredients into the meat. And then once it is all mixed, we are going to throw it into the refrigerator for about 15-20 minutes. Really just let everything sit, let those flavors combine. Really let that meat bind those flavors in. Oh yeah. If that just doesn't make your mouth water. All right, into the fridge. Now with the sausage cooling, we are going to get into the kneading of the dough and actually make our pizza pie here. So we actually don't have the time to make our own dough. So we went to the grocery store and bought some frozen pizza dough. You know, I'm actually kind of amazed. These things have just risen like crazy. So took them out about 5-6 hours ago. Really, you just want to get them to room temperature, let them rise. There's a lot of dough here. Oh man, That is a lot of dough. So as you get the dough out of the freezer, make sure that you coat it with a nice coating of olive oil. Wrap it with really just saran wrap of any sort. The olive oil just protects the dough from the saran wrap getting stuck to it. But the saran wrap helps keep that temperature in, really allows that dough to rise. I could have just totally made that up. I don't know, it sounded good. But, so we've got our thawed dough. My wife informed me that it is a lot easier to work dough if you have some flour. So we are gonna get some flour down on our pizza stone here. And then as well as on top of the dough, just a little bit. That way we can use our makeshift roller, which is really just a vodka bottle. So found out we don't actually have a dough roller, so being a hunter, being resourceful, we're just gonna use a glass bottle, roll this thing out, try to get it to about probably a 1/4 inch thick throughout consistently, and then leave the edges up about 3/4 to a 1/2 inch to give you that crust. So here we go. So we've got pizza pie number 1 ready to go. It is essential that you pre-bake the dough prior to putting on your toppings. Kind of just allows that dough to really hold its shape while you're trying to get the toppings on the pizza, and then it helps it become extra crispy at the end. So got the banana peppers on the Traeger already. Gonna pre-bake this dough on the Traeger, give it about 5-6 minutes, and then we'll be back in and we will throw on all of our cheeses, peppers, onions, the whole shebang. And you know, it is just my luck that it doesn't rain for 2 straight weeks. And the day I decide to do my food Moxielog, it decides to downpour right before I do it. So, got the Traeger protected with the umbrella, but we're all good to go. Okay, now that we have the dough in the Traeger baking, that pre-bake, we're gonna go ahead and make ourselves some drinks. So, if you know my wife and I, we are big Mad Men fans. So just got done with the entire series. So we're gonna go ahead and make an old fashioned, courtesy of Don Draper. So what you need to get started is obviously your bourbon. You can use a rye if you want, but I am going to be using Buffalo Trace today. It's one of my favorites. Really, it's a smooth drinking bourbon. So goes with a lot of different cocktails, or straight, or on the rocks. Bitters, really any flavor that you want. This is just kind of your standard. What kind of bitter is this? This is just your regular bitters. And orange, really as the garnish. Maraschino cherries are used a lot of times as well. A lot of recipes will call for maraschino cherries. It's just a garnish. I don't really think they add too much flavor, so the orange is what's going to do the trick. We're actually going to wring this out, smoke some of the rings on the Traeger, muddle it in with the sugar. You're going to need some sugar. A lot of people, if you want to get fancy with it, use sugar cubes. We happen to just have granulated sugar laying around, so granulated sugar it is. Club soda, you can use water, but club soda adds just that little bit of carbonation to the drink that we love. And this is actually going to help you muddle your sugar, your bitters, your orange, really just combine all those flavors. So you're not gonna need much. It's really just gonna be like a shot glass full of club soda, really just enough to get that muddling effect. Club soda. Last but not least, lowball glasses, as many as you need to serve as many people as you have with you. So we have our orange slices ready to go. I'm gonna steal a page from Nick's book, from Moxielog 3, the first food Moxielog, in which I'm going to coat both sides with sugar, throw them on the Traeger. That sugar's gonna get a nice glaze to it, really add that smokiness to the old fashioned. Add your sugar to the lowball. Really, it's sweeten it to whatever you want, but we're gonna go with about a 1/2 teaspoon, I would say, roughly. Okay, sugar's added. Next step is to add a couple dashes of bitters into each mixture. After that, we are going to throw in our smoked orange rings. Oranges off the Traeger. Last step before muddling is to add your club soda. Again, not a whole lot, just enough to get everything moist and make that muddle mixture. You can use anything to muddle. We happen to have plenty of wooden spoons on hand. Last but not least, go ahead and add your bourbon. Fill to your desire. My wife apparently doesn't want that much, but that's okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh yeah, that's good. Drinks are made. I think that the dough should be ready by now. It's been preheating for about 6-7 minutes. So we're gonna get it off the Traeger, bring it back inside. Look at that preheated dough. So this is exactly what you want with the preheating process of that dough. Now we're gonna jump right into the sauce. So we just went with, again, a jarred Alfredo sauce. We don't have the time to make our own stuff. If you do, awesome. Just adds that much more uniqueness to your recipe. However, we're on the go a majority of the time, so jarred it is. So pizza number 1 is going to be Alfredo. It's gonna be a white pizza. Pizza number 2 will be our red pizza. Throw as much sauce on here as you want. This is your guys' pizza. Do whatever you want to it. Feel good? Looks like a lot. Next step is the cheese. So, of course, we got your normal shredded pizza cheese. However, we went a little bit above and beyond because no homemade pizza is complete without fresh mozzarella. We also went a little crazy, tell me about it, with brie cheese. So hopefully that adds just the right texture, the right bite that we're looking for out of this pizza. Oh, you want some cheese? Should we show the star of the show? As well. You want some cheese, buddy? Can you whisper? Can you whisper? Paw. Can you speak? Speak. Speak. Alright, that's close enough. A for effort, Charlie. You're done with cheese. Go on, go lay down. Go on. Go lay down. I know. It's a sad day, Chuck. Okay. Really just cube up the mozzarella. It'll melt into your stereotypical margarita style pizza. Just the globs of fresh mozzarella. Oh man, I do love mozzarella.
Oh, me too.
I'm just gonna have one for the chef. Cool. Next step is to add the brie. Not gonna get crazy with the brie. It's already a pretty cheesy pizza. Just a few slices. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I love brie cheese though, so when I was shopping yesterday, came across some mozzarella. Right next to it was the brie, so I said, well, that could be great or it could be bad, so we'll see. Cheese is on. Next step is to get the sausage on. So sausage has been in the refrigerator for probably about a half hour now. Again, like I said up front, just throw it in there to get it cool enough to get the binders in that meat to really absorb the ingredients and the flavors from those ingredients. So this is good to go. It doesn't need to, you don't need to ball it up. Just grab little bits and pieces of it, throw it on, because this pizza is only gonna be in the Traeger for about 15 minutes or so. So you don't wanna get the meat in large sizes that's gonna take too long to cook. You want that meat to be cooked as soon as the pizza's done. Now for the final ingredients, the onion and the peppers that are still on the Traeger. I'm gonna let those peppers really just cook as long as possible before I cut into them. So we're gonna start with the onion. So here we go. And there you have it. Man, editing is beautiful. All right, so we're gonna take these onions, just sprinkle them on. Peppers are off the grill. A little bit of grill mark. Again, the longer you can leave these on, let those grill marks really sear this pepper. For the sake of the video, we're hurrying it up a little bit, but still good. They smell fantastic, nice and pliable. They're gonna be great on this pizza. All right, here we go. Alright, so for pizza number 2, we're basically going to do the same exact thing, probably minus the brie, but with a red sauce. So I'm going to spare you the instruction, and we're just going to hop right into this so that we can get it on to the Traeger after the white's done cooking up. So here we go. Okay, so our white pizza has been on the Traeger for about 15 minutes now, so we're gonna go check it out. Follow me out here. As you can see, it is cooking beautifully. Let me get you down on it. So I preheated the Traeger to 250 degrees, and that is what I pre-baked the dough to, and that is also what I allowed the pizza to cook at for the first 15 minutes. Now I want to ramp up that heat so that it's really gonna brown that crust. So I took the temperature up to 350. I'm going to give it about another 5 to 7 minutes, hopefully, and then this thing should be good to go. I know I'm hungry, my wife is hungry. This looks awesome. I can't wait to bite into it. Oh yeah. That is exactly what we are looking for. So just got the pizza off the Traeger and it looks awesome. Gonna slice it up while the red pizza is still cooking. It should be done here in another minute or so. Then we'll dig into both of them. Thanks for tuning in with us today. Had a blast making the pizza, the old fashions. Hope you guys get a chance to implement the recipe in your own time. It's killer, it's simple, it tastes great. If you're looking for something quick after work, on a weekend, whenever it may be, this may be your next choice. So if you have any questions, leave a comment below or DM us on Instagram at Hunt Moxie. Looking forward to your questions.